Hey UX friends, I want to talk to you today about a common feature on websites that is actually an accessibility nightmare. Auto-playing videos are incredibly disruptive to the user experience. And if folks are accessing a website that has an auto-playing video, first, I jumped out of my skin the other day when something happened because it's just so unexpected. An auto-playing video might seem like a really good idea for marketing purposes, and it can seem like a pretty harmless choice when it comes to design. But auto-playing videos can actually create major accessibility barriers for a lot of different types of users. Auto-playing videos present a really big challenge when it comes to trying to build engagement with users, but also make sure that your website is as inclusive as possible. Today, I want to talk to you about why an auto-playing video is such an issue, other than the fact that it's not 2008 MySpace, and what you can do instead to create a more inclusive experience. You might have noticed that auto-playing videos are kind of everywhere. They're on news sites, social media platforms, even e-commerce pages. But what happens when they play automatically? And they often play with sound, right? For many users, this isn't just annoying. This is a usability and accessibility issue. Let's dig into why. So first, they disrupt the experience of screen reader users. When a video starts playing automatically, it can interrupt the use of a screen reader, which many blind and low vision users rely on to navigate the web. The audio from the video competes with the screen reader's speech, which makes it really difficult for the person using a screen reader to understand what's going on. It's almost impossible to listen to two completely different conversations at the same time, right? We always want to give people the choice of whether or not they want to play the video, so that we don't interrupt the experience of someone who might rely on their computer talking to them to have a good experience. Second, an auto-playing video 100% overwhelms users with cognitive disabilities or impairments. For users with cognitive disabilities such as autism and ADHD, unexpectedly playing videos can be incredibly distracting and overwhelming. And just the other day, they sent my heart rate like literally sky high because it started auto-playing while I was trying to watch a movie at the same time, but I was checking out a restaurant. Makes it really hard to focus on the primary content of the page. And then you add in all of the other feelings of shame and embarrassment when you accidentally play a loud video when you're in a quiet place like a library. 3, an auto-playing video impacts users with hearing or sensory sensitivities. Sudden sounds can startle or even harm users with hearing impairments or sensory processing issues. I know my partner's mother has hearing aids that sudden loud noises cause a really sharp screeching in her ear and causes a ringing afterward. It's really painful and not just annoying, it's actually kind of terrifying for an 87-year-old. This creates a really jarring and unpleasant experience, especially if the user has no way to immediately mute the video. You may not realize this, but an auto-playing video really drains excessive data and resources. And that's pretty unfair to people who may be on a limited data plan. I know if you are but I have unlimited data, sure, but not everyone does. And not everyone has access to steady Wi-Fi. Some people are in different areas. They may be traveling from point to point where there isn't a really good connection. Auto-playing videos consume bandwidth, which can be a problem or a burden for users on limited data plans and slower connections. So this is particularly problematic for users in rural areas or regions with poor internet infrastructure. We don't want to harm those people just because they don't have access to great Wi-Fi. And then 5, an auto-playing video violates user autonomy. It basically takes the decision out of their hands and puts it into yours, which is unfair inherently. Auto-playing content removes control from a user, forcing them into an experience that they didn't opt into. This lack of choice can feel disempowering and frustrating, and that's definitely not what we want our users to feel on our web pages. So let's talk about ways that we can fix this or that we can avoid this problem. 1, make sure videos don't autoplay. Instead, allow users to choose when or if they want to play the video. Provide really clear controls for starting the video and making them optional. Give the user the ability to focus on that content at their own pace. Mute videos by default and include visible controls for users to enable sound if they choose to. Let users decide whether or not to play the videos, reducing unnecessary data usage and improving page load times. And respect user autonomy by designing interfaces that prioritize consent and control. Let's talk about a real-world example. Consider platforms that offer a click-to-play button for videos. Not only does this approach respect user choice, but it also aligns with the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. This is the requirement for reducing distractions. It's a simple design decision that creates a more inclusive experience for everyone. Autoplaying videos might seem like a small detail, but they can have a big impact on usability and accessibility. By eliminating autoplay and giving users control over their experience, you're making the web a more inclusive place. And that's something we should all strive for. I've written a short guide for why autoplaying videos can be an accessibility nightmare and what to do instead. And you can find that on my Patreon at the free level. The link is in the description and I would love to see you there. Have you encountered an autoplaying video that made your experience feel really difficult? I'd love for you to share your story in the comments, and let's talk about how we can design better, more inclusive websites together. And also, don't forget to click subscribe because it brings me joy when I get that notification. That's just a little bit of Megan magic for your accessibility toolbox. Keep designing with empathy, and let's make the web a better place for everyone, one thoughtful decision at a time.